Today on Open Minds UFO Report, a Royal Canadian Mounted Police officer posts a UFO interview video, an El Salvador witness videotapes a sphere-shaped UFO, and a Houston UFO Twitter video. Your Open Minds UFO Report starts now. Hello and welcome to the Open Minds UFO Report. My name is Alejandro Rojas. In October 1978, Royal Canadian Mounted Police officer Jim Blackwood responded to a call regarding a strange object off of the coast of Clarenville, a Canadian town on the east coast of Newfoundland in the province of Newfoundland and Labrador. When he got there, he, along with about a dozen other witnesses, saw something he could not explain. Blackwood recently posted a TV interview from 1978 in which he describes the incident.
It was about, as you say, 10 to 2 in the morning, on the early morning of the Thursday morning of the 26th of October 1978. We received a call from a local resident here in Clarenville that there was something flying in the sky and that it appeared to be a UFO. At the time, I was on the other side of Clarenville. I couldn't see the object, so I patrolled down to what we call Marine Drive, and I stopped the police car where the resident was standing on the road with his binoculars, and looked up into the sky and noticed a oval-type like object coming from the west, heading east, just across the sky here in Clarenville. Now, it appeared to me at the time that the object was anywhere approximately probably 2,000, 3,000 feet in altitude, and its distance from Clarenville is approximately about a half a mile, no more than that. Now, at this time, my first impression, I thought it might have been a jet flying overhead, until the resident passed me his binoculars and asked me to take a closer look, which I did. And at this time, I could see blue flashing lights. Now, I still wasn't sure the identity of the object. I thought to myself it could have still been an airplane, so I strolled to the detachment office and obtained the telescope that we have here. Now, the magnification of this telescope is from 15x to 60x range. It has a zoom lens. Now, I left the detachment office and went down to Marine Drive where the complainant was still there, observing this object. The object at this time had stopped moving, and it was just hovering just on the northeast coast of Random Island.
According to Canadian newspaper The Packet, Blackwood is now retired and living in Nova Scotia. News of the sighting received a lot of media attention, causing Blackwood to endure years of ridicule. Since leaving Clarenville, he says he rarely speaks about the incident. However, he did recently speak to The Packet, and in May of this year, he posted the UFO interview on YouTube. Blackwood was a 25-year-old Royal Canadian Mounted Police constable at the time of the incident. When he reached the location of the witnesses, he says there were about a dozen locals gathered there. I went down and the craft was hovering between Clarenville and Random Island, right on the water. It was only a couple hundred feet off the water. It was there for a good 2 hours before it left, Blackwood told The Packet. Blackwood said he turned on his vehicle's roof lights and then the UFO turned on its lights too. According to The Packet, using a special telescope for drug surveillance, the once skeptical Blackwood had an up-close view to something he cannot explain to this day. I got to see it close up. It didn't come any closer to us, and as it started to leave, it went up slowly, taking forever to rise, and then vroom, gone like a shooting star, Blackwood told The Packet. Blackwood described the object as cigar-shaped and made a sketch of its shape that can be seen in the 1978 interview. He says he is an aircraft enthusiast and that he estimated the size of the object to be as large as a Boeing 737. I'm familiar with aircraft of all shapes and sizes, but the metal on it was not like aircraft metal. It was very dull and not shiny at all. It wasn't even smooth. It was very coarse looking, he said. The technology was way beyond what we had then and still way beyond what we have now. Blackwood says after the sighting, they did not see the UFO again. Blackwood was hesitant to talk about the sighting after the event. He didn't want to face the ridicule he knew that he would receive. However, once the media got a hold of the story, the interview requests began coming in, and he was instructed by his superiors to accept them all. For 2 solid weeks, all I did was answer the phone and get paid for it. I was on CBC, NTV, and BBC. You name it, and I was on it, Blackwood said. Clarenville became famous for its UFO sighting. The hockey team changed their name to the Clarenville UFOs, and local businesses began having UFO and alien-themed sales. The National Research Council in Ottawa, whose Upper Atmosphere Research Facility was responsible for UFO reports, suggested the object could have been Jupiter. Blackwood disagreed. Although Blackwood never figured out what it was he saw that night, he says he did not become a UFO enthusiast. He occasionally receives calls from UFO researchers and participated in an episode of a recent television show called Close Encounters. However, he says the sighting brought more grief than it was worth. A witness in Santa Tecla, El Salvador, reported watching and videotaping a sphere-shaped object that suddenly changed direction and moved out of sight, according to a report submitted to the Mutual UFO Network, also known as MUFON, Witness Reporting Database. The witness was outside taking photos of the sky at 5:37 p.m. on October 29, 2014, when the object first came into view. The witness began taking photos of it. When I noticed the object, I guess it would be a helicopter, the witness stated. The object was coming in from the south, from San Salvador, but suddenly and slowly changed its direction to the east, and I can't see anymore because here it's residential area and other houses don't let me see it anymore. The witness says he was happy to have seen such a rare object and filed a report with MUFON. MUFON International Director of Investigations Chuck Reaver investigated the case and closed it as an unknown. A Houston resident tweeted a video of mysterious lights over Houston, and local media has taken an interest. Many are wondering if the Twitter video he posted is of a UFO. The video was tweeted on November 9th, 2015 at 8:33 p.m. by tweeter Rad with the Twitter handle of @I'mRad. He wrote, "Houston, we got a problem. Y'all look closely." A couple days after posting the video, local media began tweeting Rad asking for an interview. They wrote up the story, and now the tweet has thousands of retweets and favorites, and many people are sharing their opinion on the lights. The video shows lights appearing in the sky above a railroad bridge that has the words "Be Someone" painted on it. Some have speculated it is actually an airplane, street lights, or of course a UFO. In fact, the story in the Houston Chronicle is titled "UFO in Houston? Mysterious lights spotted in Houston sky over Be Someone sign." Rad told the Houston Chronicle that he did not notice the lights when he captured the video, but did notice them a few hours later when he reviewed it. One suggestion was that the lights are actually a reflection of something in the vehicle. This could be possible. When the lights move across the sky, it appears they move in front of a nearby tree. That would mean the object was very close or was a reflection of something inside the car. Many commenters believe the reflection is of the speedometer. Take a look and let us know what you think. That's your Open Minds UFO Report for today. You can find these stories and more at openminds.tv, where we post fresh UFO news daily. You can also follow us on Twitter at OpenMindsTV, and you can find us on Facebook. Don't forget to register for the International UFO Congress, the Guinness World Record holding largest UFO convention. Early registration is open, so you can get a discounted price by registering now at ufocongress.com. Let us know if you enjoyed today's episode by liking the episode on YouTube and leaving us your comments in the section below. You can also download our podcast, Open Minds UFO Radio, on iTunes or at openminds.tv/radio. Thanks again for joining us today for OpenMinds.tv. I'm Alejandro Rojas.